Hey everyone, it's JC. I am here today with a question for you to ponder. That may seem easy for some of you, but hang with me. Hang with me. It might be a little more complex. We are going to continue to talk about the idea that changing our health and letting the Lord heal our health is not about Him just magically giving us self-control on our new diet. It is about letting Him go with us underneath the surface and see what's driving us to the food in the first place. And that's different for each of us. So this question may or may not apply. Tell me what you think. Here's what I want you to ask yourself today. What am I trying to numb with food or with sugar? What am I trying to numb? What am I trying to escape? What am I trying to repress, push down, numb? What is it? Now, some of you may be like, duh, that's the easiest question you've ever asked me. In fact, I hear several of you shouting like, stress, stress. I've heard that from so many people. Stress, oh my gosh, every day. Like, it is such a good coping mechanism. Well, we think it is anyway. For the stress in my life, I am numbing my stress and I see that I do it and I get it. And that's good if you do see what it is you're trying to numb. It may be depression. It may be anxiety. It may be a difficult relationship with someone. You may know very clearly what it is that you're using food to cope with or to numb. So again, you may think, why is she making a video about that? That's obvious. Here's the tough part. For some of us, me included, I had used this for so long and had got so good at it because I used it so constantly. Push down, eat. So I'd really repress because I didn't want to feel some of those things. I didn't want to let myself. It was paste on a happy smile. Everything's great. No, it's great. Push down. But then I needed the food to kind of calm the storm underneath that was brewing because all of that was shoved down there. There was still pain involved with it and fear involved with it, but I was not willing to look at it, whatever it was. This was how I dealt with life. Push down, paste a smile on, eat, because deep down you're really not okay, but you're saying you are. And if you had asked me what I was trying to numb, I think I was so good at this and I was so numb that I would have said, I don't think I do that. Or I was seriously blind to how huge this was in my life and how much I had repressed and how much I had buried and how this was my life coping mechanism. So this question was much more complicated for me. The truth may be for some of us, if we let ourselves really look at it, the truth may be I am terrified to look at what I'm numbing. It may be trauma. It may be past abuse. This can get incredibly difficult. It may be a light question for some people, but the heaviest of all questions for others of us, where what's down there and what I'm pushing down, I don't even want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. No, thank you. So you may hate this video because I'm starting to poke the bear, right? And you're like, no, we're not doing that. The food is a great way to just, I'm not going there. I'm scared to, it's too hard. I don't know what to do with it. So I'm just pushing it down. This is kind of hard because this is where it almost goes from health and wellness into like life. This is life, but they're so intertwined that can you see how I keep making videos where it's like, if you don't look under the hood, this will never change because those life issues are incredibly difficult. And if we're using food as the main driver, we're going to have to keep using it. Either we deal with them or we keep using the food to push them down to have some way to cope. So here is why we need the Lord in this area of our lives. This is why when people go, what? In my food, in my diet, you're talking about bringing Him into that? Oh, yes, I am. If it is this complicated for you, oh, yes, I am. He is the one that can give us the courage, the strength, the ability to even want to look at that, let alone start to. to even begin to pry our fingers off this coping mechanism and say, okay, you have given lip service to me being your savior and your redeemer. Let me save you in this. The system you're using to cope with whatever it is underneath the surface, it isn't really working. And it's not just because of the scale. It's not just because of your weight. Food doesn't fix it. It's just numbing it. It's under there and it's causing more havoc than you realize it is. But the human brain has this amazing capacity to just live in denial and say, no, I'm just fine. He wants to get underneath that and heal it and transform you where you don't need the food to cover all the pain or all the fear or whatever it is, all the trauma, all the abuse, whatever it is. He is enough. He is enough to walk you through this. So let me tell you what I suggest on how to begin this process. Number one thing, please, if this is a complex area for you, give yourself lots of grace. I'm going like this whole video. This is funny. I'm catching myself. Give yourself lots of grace. Lots and lots and lots. This is going to be a process. It will not be changed in a day. And so as you kind of begin to move in this direction, it's going to be messier than not. I'm going to use this example. I've used it in another video on body image, but I think it applies here. It's just like the movie Tangled, which I hope you've seen, with Rapunzel. And this is a silly example, but it's perfect. She had lived under lies, under an old paradigm that Gothel had told her she was her mother and that the world was terrible, that she should stay in the tower. And she had believed those lies for so long. That was her reality. And as she began to experiment with life, she came out of the tower, burst through the trees, and it was her first experience with a new world, with thinking in a new way. And that scene in Tangled, where she goes, oh, this is so amazing. And she loves it. And then the next scene, she's like, I'm a terrible person. I can't do this. And she goes back and forth in this scene because the new is so scary. And then it's empowering. And then it's scary. And I can't do this. And then it feels amazing. And she portrays it beautifully. They captured it beautifully in that movie. By the end of the movie, she's free. But it was a process. This is going to be a process. I get emails all the time with someone that will see one video and think that day, oh no. And then they'll try to start moving in the direction of change and fall and stumble and go, I can't do this. And I want to just shout through my video. It's like, give yourself grace, give yourself time, give the Lord a chance to walk this out slowly. What it's going to look like is him, number one, showing you the pattern that you're using, because often we're so blind to it that we have to be like, oh, wow, I do this so much more than I thought. And I do about more things than I thought. So he had to just kind of, number one, show me that I did it. I just thought it was a sweet tooth. I didn't realize it was my main life management system. Push down and then eat to cover up the symptoms of it. I didn't see it. So once I began to see it, then I was still paralyzed, like, okay, I get it, but I don't know how to stop. So I want to give you some resources to help to begin walking this path with him. If you see this as a thing for you, and if you resonate with this video, to begin moving in a direction of healing. My online courses, both my Satisfied and my Transformed course, go in this direction of reworking our minds away from the coping mechanism of food and into a place where he can begin to transform the way we deal with life. So both of those are the first two links in the description box below. But I'm also, guys, I'm going to give you a ton of book resources. And these aren't just books that I looked up and threw on there because I thought they'd apply. These are teachers that the Lord used for me to revolutionize my thinking in different areas where I would struggle and push down and eat. He's like, no, we got to look at that. We got to look at that. So I want you to learn how to cope with that thing in a way that's faith-based, in a way that lets me in, to let me be your savior. And he worked through people often that were familiar with this area and that could coach me in this area. Let me show you the areas that are going to be in the box below and a few resources in each. General life struggles. going through a specifically difficult time, some adversity, some sort of trial, using food as a coping mechanism, like we talked about. I have books on that. Feeling like you're not good enough, fear and anxiety in general, loneliness or not feeling seen. That can be one that, we can eat to cope with that. Exhaustion and overwhelm, so struggling mentally or emotionally in any different way. Codependency and people pleasing, difficult family situations. That was a huge one for me. Huge driver of my eating. I won't go into that now. I even will have one below if you are a survivor of sexual abuse. This can be so complicated. And I wanted to not just like peel back, open the can of worms, and then you go, don't leave me now. You just open that. And then what do I do next? Here are teachers. Here are, along with my courses, here are other teachers down in the box below. Scroll down. There's links. There's also audiobooks for most of these. They're not just books. But there are ways to get started. If something resonates with you, be prayerful about it. If you want to begin this journey and you don't know where to start, I'm trying to give you as much as I can to help you have something to hold on to. Someone, me or another teacher, to walk with you and the Lord, to hold your hand and let you know it's possible. It's going to take a little while, depending on how complex it is, but that's okay. Maybe you need to make 2024 your year and just go, I'm going to give it the year. I'm filming this in the beginning of 2024. You may not be watching this then. I just realized that. But give yourself time, give yourself grace, but more than anything, believe with your whole heart, with all the faith that you have in you. Know that he can save you in this. He can redeem you and deliver you in this. But you've got to let him, and you've got to open that door and let him begin this process of healing by letting you see underneath the surface and what's going on and what exactly that he needs to heal. I hope that was helpful. Have a beautiful, wonderful week, and we'll talk to you next time.